Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to VidaneTV here at the virtual Richmond Raceway for the virtual Richmond Raceway 75, put together none other by the Oil Boys iLate Model National Series. Easy enough for me to say, folks. It's been a long day. It's been a cold day here in southern New England. Great to have you on board with us here this evening. Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the broadcast booth, and we are getting ready to watch some racing here at Richmond Speedway. Great to have you on board again here with us live all over the internet. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter and Twitch. Be sure to give us a like, a subscribe, a share, a follow, all that good stuff, and let us know where you're tuning in from. A little bit of heat racing action to kick things off here this evening as we will catch up with the field. There you see everybody being led by the 13, Luke Shannon, Brandon Lambert in the 77 on the outside there in that black and yellow car. The 49 car, very festive paint scheme on the 49. I noticed there was a handful of festive paint schemes here throughout the field this evening. There you can see Jake Grout in that 49 car, Jarvis Sawtile in the 17 up on the outside. Jacob Roy out there as well. Stephen Rochford, Brandon Roberts, Brogan Roberts rather. Matt Huntington, Casey Hodgson, and Dominic Frappier going to be the 10 drivers in this one. 4 heat races on the docket, taking the top 5 into the feature. Going to have ourselves an LCQ, a little last chance qualifier race here as well. Going to take the winner and move them on into the Richmond Raceway 75. Pace car off. We get ready for heat race numero uno. Green flag flies from Barney up in the flag stand. Solid start up front. Luke Shannon trying to get away, but the 49 car very quick down on the bottom side. Going to do everything he can to try and take over the lead quickly here. You can see there's already a little bit of damage there on the left front. Check that, the right front of that 49 car of Jake Grout, but looks like it's not slowing him down too much. Already peeking a nose down on the bottom side, trying to make a little bit of the magic happen. Now side by side for the lead as they go into turn number 1. Door handle to door handle, as it were. We know. These doors don't have handles. One car around, it looked like in the back of the pack, but it looks like for the time being, we stay green. The 49 car, no, we do come to the yellow flag. So the yellow flag flies for the first time here this evening in the very first heat race. Still chasing Luke Shannon in that 13 car. The 49 right in behind. Remember, taking the top 5 here this evening in to the 75 lap feature here at Richmond Raceway. You see the 11 car down on pit road with a bit of damage and some smoke from that machine. We'll see if we can back up U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Focus in check that gray and purple car down on the bottom side. Just a little bit of contact, a little bit high coming on down from the top road and into the bottom groove. Going to get that thing repaired and back out on track, it looks like. And lights still on top of the iRacing pace car as we're going to turn another lap here under caution. A little bit of damage. Can't tell if that's damage or if that's just extra camber on the right side, right front of these late models here this evening. But in any sense, everybody looking for a bit of speed here at Richmond. So we rejoin the regularly scheduled schedule of racing here this week. Had a bit of a weather delay, as we call it. Well, we call it that because that's what happened. It was cold. It was snowy. The weather was not okay last weekend or last Tuesday night here in New England. A lot of these drivers out have plowing contracts and such, and a lot of folks up in the Northeast like me don't have quite the infrastructure that they really should to put up with the snow and the ice and the nonsense. So ended up rescheduling that race for December 23rd. That'll be here on VidaneTV. live on all networks and all platforms, as it were. We come around to take what should be the one to go. Lights off on the iRacing pace car. There they go. We're lining them up 2 by 2 all the way through. So once again, live all over the place. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for, and what you've got up on the big screen. Be sure to load up any smart TV, tablet, any smart device really that's got the YouTube app. You can pull us up and watch us live up on the big screen, and you can even watch all of our races on demand as well. There's over 650 races from the last 5 or 6 years we've been doing it here at VidaneTV, so we'd love to have you check it out. Get that subscribe, get the shares, let your friends and family know you're watching a little bit of racing action here on VidaneTV. Green flag once again to kick things off here for lap number 4. Luke Shannon takes over the lead, but the 49 car of Grout wants it. Gets down to the bottom side, a little bit squirrely, holds on to it, going to try and take that momentum down into 3 and 4. Nothing quite there, still going to be down on that yellow line, all the way down in the apron, up to the checkered flag or up to the start-finish line. You can see really gains a bunch of momentum and really drives it hard into 1 and 2. 13 slips up just a little bit. He's going to have to tuck it to the tire tracks of Grout in the 49. And you can see those front two starting to pull away ever so slowly as the rest of the field, they know that they've only got a little bit of time to try and get up into the top 5 to get transferred on into the main event of the evening here this evening. Grout holding on to the lead, and you can see there's a quick time there. That's going to be Jake Grout, the leader, with a 22.731. The 13 of Luke Shannon going to try and go up on the outside line. Nothing quite there, so he's going to try and take a look at the bottom side. Meanwhile, the battle for third is heating up in a big way. Steven Rochford holding on to it, but the 17 holding on to it. The 66 trying to take it away down on the bottom side. Saltile up in the top side, going to tuck in to the tire tracks. You can see the 99 of Huntington is the transfer spot holder for the time being. Doesn't look like too much of a challenge just yet from that 77 car, as we have a lead change once again. Jake Grout now up around the 13 for Luke Shannon, Luke Shannon rather. We'll take keep an eye rather on the transfer spot back here. Remember, taking the top 5 into the big show here this evening in Huntington in a comfortable spot. He's going to drift high just a little bit, though, getting into 3, coming to the white flag. That's going to open the door and get a little blood in the water, but it is the 77 is going to get a challenge now from the 11 of Jacob Roy. We saw big-time problems earlier on, so it looks like 99 is going to hold on to it. Meanwhile, back up front, the 66 up to the outside wall. 17 going to see if he can take a little bit of an advantage there, but nothing quite there. Dive for the lead to Luke Shannon down on the bottom side. Nothing there. Shoots up to the high side. Nothing there either. Jake Grout going to come home with the first checkered flag of the evening and make his way on into the big show of the evening. There you can see Luke Shannon going to finish in second. Steven Rochford in third. Jarvis Sawtile finishing in fourth. And Matt Huntington holding on to the transfer spot there in P5. Everyone else going to have to jump back into the car, into the garage, make some final tweaks, and get themselves ready to rock and roll for that last chance qualifier. And we're only taking the winner of that LCQ, so that is going to be fun to watch here coming up shortly as we get them lined up, ready to rock and roll once again here, but this time for heat race number 2. Ty Delphi in the 13 car going to roll off down on the bottom side. Looks like going to take the inside of that start. Matt Pepin in the 56 having some connection issues, it looks like they're on the outside, but he's going to roll off P2. James Barrett Jr. going to roll off on the inside of row number 2. Jason Gaudet Jr. going to roll out on his outside. Brendan Meyer and Hayden Bushy going to roll off in row number 3. Ashton Kennison, Gary Wheeler, Mike Macaskill, and Cam Biotti going to round out the 10 drivers in this one. 2, 4, 6, 8. Looks like we're missing 2. Missing James Barnett Jr. and Mike Macaskill. Not going to make the grid for the heat race. They might be starting from the pits. They might have had some issues they had to attend to, and they planned on racing into the LCQ. That's one of the things that we noticed that we do differently here with the Oil Boys I Late Model National Series is we don't qualify. We just jump right in to the heat races. Basically takes the practice times and groups everybody together. We take the top 5 from the heat races. We take the winner of the LCQ, and we throw everybody into the main event of the evening. And that's going to be 75 laps on the docket here tonight. Got to give a shout out to the Oil Boys. I was checking out their website earlier on here. I keep mentioning it is cold in the garage. We do the production here for VidaneTV. Got to get something going with a heater. I was checking these guys out online. The oilboys.com is their website. 24/7 emergency service. You don't get that very often with a lot of companies. And when it gets as cold as it does up here in New England, southern New England, really anywhere, it seems like this year. Great to have that option. Give these guys a shout. They are local in New Hampshire. TheOilBoys.com. They're all over social media as well, hooking us up, keeping us warm here at VidaneTV. Lights off on the pace car, getting ready to kick things off for heat race number 2. Green flag from Barney up in the flag stand. Good start there from the 13 of Philadelphia. Matt Pepin in the 56 going to try and tuck into the tire tracks. We're 3 wide briefly back there for third. They figure it on out. The top 5 going to try and hold on to it. Brandon Meyer and Hayden Bushy in currently. Oh, a little scuffle on the outside wall with the 17 of Gaudette Jr., but he holds on to it. Holds on to the spot as well. Going to drift up the track. Beautiful black and orange number 17, I believe NH car. Indeed it is. Orange metallic wheels. I'm digging the look. I dig the look. And that is a heartfelt battle for that transfer spot right now. 5 of these 8 drivers. Oh, contact between the 92 and the 17 NH. The 03 going to slide on down and by. That might actually put the 03 car in right now as the transfer. You can see big damage with that 7H back here with the 45 of Cambiati trying to hold on to it. Meanwhile, 3 cars all under a blanket for this second position as Philadelphia is running away with it. 6 laps to go here in heat race number 2. The 13 car running away just like Luke Shannon ran away with his 13 car in heat number 1. These guys duking it out for that second place currently. Matt Pepin, Brandon Meyer, and Hayden Bushy all under a blanket. Once again, second, third, and fourth. The 03 car, it's actually the 15. The 15 is right there. The 03, rather, of Ashton Kennison is that transfer spot. You can see starting to close into the picture, getting up to the back bumper of the 15 with 5 laps to go. Check that, 4 laps to go as we cross the stripe. The 03 car he's holding on to 5th right now. Having a challenge from the 92. You can see there's some damage there on the right front of the 92. We saw that incident live. You can see they are getting dicey. That 35 car up to the outside wall. Gave it a little bit of a kiss. You can see it's drifting up the racetrack this time by. Looking like that 35 car getting a bit tighter as the race moves on. That's going to be something a lot of these guys are going to be paying attention for in the 75 lapper later on tonight. The 03 car dipping down low. Whoa, big time wall contact with the 92 as the 13 car still driving away. Philadelphia currently with a great big lead. 1.2 seconds is the lead right now over Matt Pepin. You can see he has his hands full with that battle for second. Still side by side between the 56 and the 15. Side by side back here for the transfer spot as well. These guys putting on a show here for us on a Tuesday night as they do. And man, oh man, I am looking forward to calling the action here this evening. Still side by side, 2 laps to go. That time by for the 13 at Philadelphia. Check that. That is the white flag, white rag, and there is nobody in sight for that 13 down the back straightaway, getting the reps in, down into 3 and 4 for the final time of heat race number 2. Philadelphia coasting into a checkered flag this time. There you can see the dogfight for the rest of that top 5. Everyone crossing the stripe here in this one. You can see at the 13 having a little victory bump there on the outside or inside pit wall. And there you can see heat race number 2, the results for that. 13 at Philadelphia coming home with the checkered flag. Hayden Bushy, Matt Pepin, Ashton Kennison, and Brandon Meyer are going to be the top 5 in this one. They are transferring on in to the 75-lap feature. Everybody else, they're going to have to try and race and win that last chance qualifier here coming up in a moment's time. But right now we're going to line up heat race number 3 as they get ready to take the grid. And we will see how they line up. They're already rolling away. Riley McVetti going to roll off on the front row of this one. Caden Fisher in the 18 there on the outside. Tegan Atkins very strong in that 88 car, going to roll off P3. Dominic LaFleur in the 7 going to roll off P4. Carter Atwood rounding out the top 5. Ryan Kuhn from RVKM Setup Shops, he's going to roll off P6. Craig Terry and Kenny Thompson, James Lang, and Kyle Goodbout rounding out the top 10. Once again, taking 5 drivers into the main event. And there you see, that's how they line up, 2 by 2 all the way through. Lights are off on top the iRacing pace car. Getting ready to rock and roll. Next time by, we'll get that green flag and 10 more laps. Check that, 8 more laps for these heat races. And then we'll move on to the LCQ, and then we'll move on to the feature. Just a little bit after 7 o'clock here on the East Coast. Got to give a shout out to everybody out at PRI this week. One of the, if not the premier racing get-together and show with all the racing news that's coming out this week and next week. Very exciting here at VidaneTV and really across the racing and sim racing community. You know, we got a lot of folks over there at that are watching, so we appreciate it. We thank you for welcoming us into your homes, especially being as cold as it is outside. My goodness. Riley McVetti, great start, pulls away by a car length or 2 side by side now for second. Caden Fisher, Tegan Atkins. Oh, they bump, and they bump in the back as well. A little bit bigger of a bump. The 32 car is around. Grabs a gear and gets rolling once again. Doesn't look like the damage is too bad. There you see the pace car rolling off the exit of pit road. The 72 comes down, no contact there. 32 rather, gets into the corner. Still see no contact. Just a little bit of a nudge. 32 got a bit loose, and Kuhn was there. Luckily, nobody else was there. Nobody else got collected up into that. We stay relatively whole. It looks like all 10 drivers still out on track. 2 laps into heat race number 3. So lights up on top of the iRacing pace car. We slow things down here for a moment. We'll take a quick look at our friends over at DoorDash. Get $8 off your first 4 orders, courtesy of VidaneTV. Just plug in the link, vidane.tv/DoorDash. Check out that QR code on your tablet or your smartphone or whatever device you have that scans QR codes. Get a new account signed up, and those first 4 orders we will pay. Well, we aren't paying the $8, but you get $8 off. And it helps us out here at VidaneTV. I hooked it up with some Chinese food earlier on. Got me a little General Tso combo and some spare ribs. I love the boneless spare ribs. Very, very good. They're even better. Well, they're not a better cold, but they're okay cold. It's one of those foods you can kind of grab and snack on. And we definitely may have snacked on a couple of those before the green flag dropped in heat race number 1. But great to have DoorDash on board this season. They will be on board with us all season long, and we're going to work on some deals with them on down the road. But back to the action on track. We made mention lights off on the iRacing pace car. We're lined up 2 by 2. We are getting ready to rock and roll once again. Barney in the flag stand. He's got that flag coiled up. He's getting ready to let these guys know that it is, in fact, time to go. 10 drivers on track, 5 of them moving on to the feature here this evening. And the other 5, they're going to have to race their way in to the LCQ. Last chance for romance, as our buddy Mike from the Rock would say. Green flag flies. We are side by side, almost 3 wide, almost 4 wide there in the back. Heading on into turn number 1. Oh, connection issues for the 25 of Riley McVetti. That is a long drop. I'm not sure what the deal is there. We'll have to see if we can get any kind of confirmation as to, oh, no, there he is. The 25 reappeared here. That was a long time to be disconnected, and it looks like still some issues for the 25. You can see driving on down through the grass and going to lose a lot of track position When that 25 car disappeared like that, it's a connection issue. All the drivers see the 25 disappear. The 25 sees the entire field disappear at that point until the connection resynchronizes. So at that point, you're still driving full speed on track along with the field. You just kind of have to guess where everybody's going to reappear. That's a tough break. Luckily, heads up driving from the 25 of Riley McVetti. Nothing, no big issues. No damage or anything like that, but outside the transfer spot, you can see Ryan Kuhn is on the move. 2 quick times in a row there from the number 72 in third, looking for first. Little bit of a nudge there on the back of that 88 car, Tegan Atkins, but nothing there. Just letting him know he's there. There's another 22.665 for the 72 car. 4 laps to go. Does Ryan Kuhn have enough time to get up around these two drivers? They're side by side for the lead. Caden Fisher holding on to it on the high side. Tegan Atkins on the low side, but he's going to get bumped up to the middle side. Ryan Kuhn going to try and take a little 2-for-1 special. 3 wide as they go into 1. Plenty of room. They make it work. Tegan Atkins going to slide back just a bit, but gain a bit of momentum. The 88 charging now in the middle groove, and 92 going to try and shove the 72 all the way through, down on the bottom side. Festive colors there. Little contact as we're almost 4 wide for the lead with 3 laps to go here in heat race number 3. 3 wide there for second, a little bit loose for the 18. This is exactly what Riley McVetti wants to see in that 25 car. Still having connection issues. You saw the 25 blink out once again. Might be gone after that. It doesn't look like that this racing is going to help out that 25 car, but you can see Kenny Thompson in the 39 is a distant car in the back as he's going to try and get up to these top 5, but does he have enough time? Doesn't seem like he does. White flag, white rag one more time around the speedway. Just kidding. We're coming to the checkered, and there you see it. It's going to go to Ryan Kuhn at the line. The 72 car putting everybody on notice here in the Oil Boys Late Model National Series. We'll take a look at the unofficial results here of heat race number 3. There you see Gary Wheeler in the 92 car, Tegan Atkins in the 88, very strong in that 88 car, going to finish in third. Caden Fisher and Dominic LaFleur going to be the top 5 drivers in this one. They transfer on into the main event tonight. Riley McVetti, Kenny Thompson, Carter Atwood, Landon O'Donnell, and Chris Darian going to be the other 5 that are going to be transferring, or trying to transfer in, rather, to the LCQ. So we will line them up once again for the final heat race here tonight. And find out who is going to be racing in the 75 lapper, who's going to have to go home. Oh, just kidding. We're getting right into that last chance qualifier. So not entirely sure how many we took from each of the heat races, but here we are, getting ready to rock and roll for the last chance qualifier. We'll take a look at the starting lineup of the entire field here once we get going. But there you can see 15 drivers lined up 2 by 2 behind the pace car here. Brandon Lambert going to start down the bottom side in that double 77. Gary Wheeler in the 16 going to start on the outside. The 25 of Riley McVetti, we saw the connection issues in his heat race, going to have some issues in the 25. Looks solid right now. We'll see what goes on. There's more cars in this race here as well. But Jacob Roy, Jason Gaudet Jr. going to round out the top 5. Kenny Thompson almost made it in that last heat race. They're going to roll off P6. Brogan Roberts, Cam Biotti, Carter Atwood, Casey Hodgson in the top 10. James Barrett Jr. looks like may have missed the start. Going to start this one down on pit road. James Lang going to roll off P12. Dominic Verpeer, Mac Macasill, and Chris Darian going to be the 14 drivers taking the green flag in the LCQ race. Green flag flying once again. 8 laps here on the docket. I believe we're taking the winner of this race. Big time slide as it starts to get a little bit darker as we get on here as well. Driver's not really fighting that sun glare as much off into the corner, and you can see the track seems to have gotten just a little bit more slick as it's sliding and dicing all the way through the top 5. You can see the second pack there working at it as well. That 92 is trying to, trouble for the 77, hard into the outside wall. A couple of drivers up and around as well. The 45 getting a piece of the action. The 32, everybody getting, it was almost like there was water or something on the track there. The caution flag is indeed going to fly here on lap number 2, and we will indeed back that up and take a look at the U-House Racing U-House Racing Designs instant replay. There were a couple of incidents here. We're going to take a look at this 11 car because you can see drops back a couple of spots. Just kind of gets caught up in the high lines. The 32, the 15 get by, the 5 and the 3 get by. And the initial incident starts, the 32 gets into the 45 there in the left side of your screen. And there you can see just a little bumper car action throughout the field. And there's the 11 getting into the 32 and unfortunately gets the black and red car around as well. So not sure if it was a receipt for something we may or may not have seen from earlier or what that was. But just a little bit of a tap, letting him know he's there, it looks like. We gather everybody back up under the pace car or behind the pace car. Lights still on here at the virtual Richmond Raceway. 75 laps on the docket for the big show here tonight. You can see the 3 car getting out just in front of the pace car. Going to rejoin the tail end of the lead lap. As you can see, 7 to go here in the Consolation, the last chance qualifier. And Gary Wheeler out front in the 92. Timing and scoring has him in the 16. But the paint scheme says 92. The 77 has no numbers on it. But that is indeed Brandon Lambert on the outside, the black and yellow car. Riley McVetti in the 25 in third. Jason Gaudet Jr. and Brogan Roberts, the top 5, as they take the restart. Lights still on top of the iRacing pace car. So we're going to give them another lap to get around this joint. Make sure everything's ready to rock and roll here at Richmond. Just taking a look over at the Oil Boys website once again, we made mention that they do have 24-hour HVAC emergency service. They also have a lot of counties, handful of counties that they service. Coos County and Grafton County in New Hampshire. New Hampshire? Easy enough for me to say. New Hampshire, Caledonia County, Orange County, and Washington County, Vermont. These guys will be able to hook you up, and you can see the lights. I think the pace car driver may be on one here, because I think the lights are still on. We'll see what's going on with that pace car driver here momentarily. I think the lights are off. The lights are off. There we go. So we got everybody lined up. There you can see the field closing on back in. 2 laps down, 6 to go here in the LCQ. Once again, live all over the internet. We're on TikTok, we're on Twitch, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube. We're all over the place. And if you're watching on a smart TV, be sure to shoot on over. Or if you've got a smart TV, I should say, load up that Vidane YouTube app and punch in VidaneTV. Easy enough for me to say. It's been a long day. It's been a long, cold day here in southern New England. Search for us on YouTube. VidaneTV pops right up. Grab a subscribe and get all of the action. Over 650 live broadcasts on demand at your fingertips. Racing once again, did Gary Wheeler in at that 92, pulling away a little smoke from the out back, but nothing too crazy. We stay clean and we stay green. The 25 car diving down to the bottom side, trying to take away second from that 77 of Brandon Lambert. Oh, trouble in the back. I believe that was the 11 of Jacob Roy once again down into the grass. Had some trouble in the heat race to find himself in the LCQ. We stay clean and green. Dominic Verpeer with a quick time of a 4:59, and there you see the 77 up into the outside wall. Knocked a bit of momentum, knocked a bit of steam out of the sails of that 77. You can see dropping back to 4th on to 5th. Going to find a spot right in front of the 20 of Brogan Roberts. You can see the 17 in behind there as well. That black and orange ride of Gaudet Jr. Quick time for the 25 as he moves on into second. And he's got a sight set on the leader, but he's also got Verpeer there as well. These guys duking it out up into the top 5, trying to get themselves into the show. 75 laps on the docket for the feature here tonight at Richmond Raceway. Gambiotti, though, went in the wrong direction. That 75 car is parked, and we'll take a look at the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. A little bit squirrely coming out of the corners there. This is where the 518 or the 516 gets down in there. It looks like something broke on the 45. Tried to chase it, tried to overcorrect it. Great job keeping that thing off the fence, though. Whoa, that was close. Good heads-up driving there, hopping on the brakes. There you can see the caution flags come out, and back to the live shot. No damage for Biotti in the 45 car. Going to rejoin the tail end of the field and see what they can do with the remaining laps here. 3 to go, 2 to go when we get the green flag. So a little bit of a green-white checkered, I guess we could call it, here at the virtual Richmond Raceway. Connection issues continue, it appears, for the 25 car. You can see just disappeared off the screen here. Might have something to do with the wind up here. I don't have the bio sheets on me, so I'd have to check and see. But there are a lot of these drivers are from the New England area, the northeast part of the country, and I know it is cold and it is windy, and that can affect a lot of the utilities in the area, whether it be the power or the internet or cable or whatever it may be. So just like in real racing, the sim racing has its electrical demons that sometimes it's just outside of your control. But making the best of it here for McVetti in the 25. You can see it looks like it's solid. It's ironed itself out a bit. 92 car out front, Gary Wheeler. Kenny Thompson in 39 car in third. Dominic Verpeer, Brogan Roberts. Top 5 as they restart. Great racing package these guys have put together here for us on Tuesday nights here at VidaneTV. Going to be carrying us all the way through the winter months. Remember, we had to cancel last week's race due to snow and a big winter storm come through, the big one, first one of the season, and we had to postpone the race. That's going to be rescheduled to December 23rd, Tuesday night here on VidaneTV. Be producing that one from Daytona, I want to say, as the real racing schedule gets, everybody seems to talk about the off-season. There's not really much of an off-season. Lots of racing still going on around the country, albeit a little bit of indoors. We're doing some Fort Wayne action here. We're going to be shooting cars and behind a camera over at the Rumble of Fort Wayne here next week, or the week after next, as it were. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. First time out at that event for myself. After that, heading down to Daytona International Speedway for a week of go-karts. That's going to be a lot of fun. Annex announcing the Winter Nationals down at Auburndale there in February. I'm going to be there for that, potentially down at Alltech Speedway. Just kind of bridging the gaps here between real racing and sim racing. So if you see us at the racetrack, be sure to give us a hello, introduce yourself. Got to remember, I don't see faces here on the internet. You got to give me a high five or a fist bump and a name so I know whom I'm talking to. But there you can see, pace lights are off. We're lined up. We're kind of lined up 2 by 2. McVetti's still having connection issues in the 25 affecting the lineup. We'll see what race officials do with that. There you can see it gets it cleaned up as the pace car dips down. 2 by 2 all the way through. Good start there for the 92. We stay green, or we take that green flag, and you can see McVetti being very careful up on the high side, just trying to make the show, trying not to affect anybody else's chances with that connection issue in the 25, but everything looking A-OK. Up and to the outside wall, though, is McVetti. Kenny Thompson diving down, trying to make a 2-for-1 special here, coming to the white flag. Trouble in the back of the pack. Looks like they completed it, but Kenny Thompson, power move in that 32 car. White flag last lap, next flag ends the race. They are 2 wide back there for second, third, fourth on back. But Kenny Thompson pulling away in the 39 car. There you can see the 92 doing everything he can to try and set back or get back to the rear bumper, but nothing quite there. Give the checkered flag to Kenny Thompson. He's going to make the show here this evening. We will get that official lineup for you as soon as we can, but a hell of a run there for the 39 of Thompson. He's going to be in the show here tonight, and this is going to be good. We've seen some great heat racing. We've seen some really good consolation racing, and now we're lining them up for... What are we lining them up for? Lining them up for the feature. So 15 drivers in the starting lineup. And there you can see Jake Grout on the pole. We'll take a look at the LCQ results real quick. There you see Kenny Thompson, Gary Wheeler, Brogan Roberts, Dominic Rapier, and O'Reilly McVetti to the top 5. So these drivers transferring on in to the main show. And everybody else, oh, trouble for the 49 going in the wrong direction. Gets it sorted out, and we'll take a look at the 15 drivers giving us the field here tonight. There you see Jake Grout, Christmas colors on the number 49 VT, rolling off the pole. Ty Delphia in the 13 VT on his outside. Ryan Kuhn, RKM Setup Shops, up on P3. There's Luke Shannon, winner of the first heat race. In P4, Hayden Bushy in the 15, side by side with the 92 of Gary Wheeler, RKM Setup Shop on that car as well. That explains, I'm going to have to figure out why we're not seeing that paint scheme on the actual car here. Stephen Rochford in the 56, as well as Matt Pepin in the other 56. Check that. That's the 66 and the 56. They're going to be rolling off P7 and P8. Tegan Atkins in the 88 rolling off P9. 17 to Jarvis Sawtell going to roll off P10. And just outside the top 10, looking in, Ashton Kennison, Caden Fisher there in 11th and 12th. Matt Huntington racing his way in that 99 car. Going to roll off P13. Brandon Meyer in 14th position. Dominic Lafleur going to round out the 15 drivers here in this one as we follow the pace car around. There you see the lights are indeed off. Getting ready to go racing here for 75 laps on the docket here at Richmond Raceway. 15 drivers making up the field, and they had to work their way to get in here. Pace car is off. And we are green. 49 car going to take that green flag, going to go up and give a little bit of a bump there to the 13 car, letting them know that he's still there. And definitely looks like there are more than 15 cars now. Not entirely sure what timing and scoring is doing. We've made mention that there's been some updates with Windows. There's been some updates with our timing and scoring program. It's a third-party deal, and we're kind of waiting for them to catch up with the updates, if that makes any sense, because there's a couple of bugs that we've noticed over the past couple of weeks. So we apologize for the starting lineup being a little bit off there. Didn't really make sense that there were only 15 cars. There are, in fact, 24 cars in the field. We'll see if we can get to everybody here in the 75 laps. But we are having ourselves a battle up front. Ryan Kuhn going to take over the lead in that 72 car as the caution flag going to fly for the first time. Pace car going to pick up the field, and we'll see what went down to bring out the first caution flag here of the night in feature racing. Richmond Raceway 75 here at the virtual Richmond Raceway, live on VidaneTV. Once again, live all over the platforms, all over the internet, as it were. Let us know who you're pulling from, or who you're pulling for, where you're watching from. And be sure to hit the like, the subscribe, the share, all that good stuff. And I see the 49, as we just get our timing and scoring all reset here. The 49 car may have had some issues there, but in any sense, we're going to back up, see if we can take a peek. Let's see, the 56 has some issues there. It looks like we found exactly where those issues lie. We'll pop it up in the U-House Racing Designs Instant Replay. 56 getting down in there. You can see the back end of the car, very light, gets down to the apron, almost has it collected up. 18 gets piled on in, nowhere to go, unfortunately, for the 17. The 15 is there as well. There's that 92, a Wheeler, getting a little bit of a fist bump as well. Looks like the car re-downloaded itself. So how about that? Shout out to Trading Paints, getting it right. 49 car to hold on to the lead for the time being. Jake Grout very quick in that 49. Ryan Kuhn, the 72, quick as well. He is there in second. Ty Delphia, Luke Shannon, Hayden Bushy in the top 5. Stephen Rochford, in 6th. Tegan Atkins, Ashton Kennison, Jarvis Sawtile, and Brendan Meyer going to be the top 10 as they run. Matt Huntington in the 99 just outside the top 10 looking in. 24 drivers in this field. See, much darker than it was earlier on in those heat races. Drivers complaining earlier on about the sun glare getting on down into turns 1 and 2. Not so much an issue now, and that's going to cool the track down by quite a bit. iRacing did a really good job with that dynamic weather, the dynamic track surfaces. Things change just like they do in real life. So as these drivers are making laps around the racetrack, the tires get hot, the pavement gets warmer, and it affects the way this racetrack's handled. It's also got the dynamic and changing weather as well. So kind of neat deal to have here. That's the 92 car. The other 92 car, that's Gary Wheeler. So there's a couple of 92 cars in the field here this evening, but they're all chasing the 49. Jake Grout, he's up front. Ryan Kuhn in second. Ty Delphia, Luke Shannon, and Steve Rochford, the current top 5. Lights off on the pace car. Getting ready to rock and roll once again as we go into 3 and 4, and we wait for Barney the Flagman to let these drivers know that it is time to go. Don't want to quite call it a jump, but that was a heck of a start from the outside of the 49 car. You can see Jake Grout took that outside line. He's going to hold on to it. He's going to pull away by a couple of car lengths. Second place side by side. The 72 Akun down on the bottom side. Luke Shannon trying to make that middle groove work for him, but see, he's tucking into the tire tracks now. He's going to take over that third position as the 66 now looking into him with 73 laps to go here at Richmond. Luke Shannon still not going all the way down to that bottom side. You can see drifting up just a little bit. Quick time, 394 for Ryan Kuhn in that 72 car in second place. All over the back bumper, it seems, of Jake Grout. You can see just really able to get down on the bottom of the racetrack and turn that car. You can see going to utilize the flatter part of the racetrack and really get down to the door in turns 1 and 2. Quick power move, and you can see that's a quick time, a quick way around this racetrack. 22.567, the new quick lap for Ryan Kuhn. You can see still side by side with the 49. Gonna complete the pass, gonna bring Luke Shannon with him, it looks like, in that third position. The new leader, the 72, right back up front. Led a bunch of laps here in the iRacing world, especially here in the Oil Boys Late Model National Series, as a title sponsor as well. We're one of the title sponsors with RKM Setup Shop. Be sure to check him out over on social media, over on the website as well. This dude's fast. He knows what he's talking about here in the iRacing world, and he's smooth with it. Take a look at those bright green gloves. You can see just really easing this car on down into turns 1 and 2. That's where the glare was coming from there in 3 and 4 earlier on, but you can see the sun is kind of set behind the trees. And it is smooth sailing here with 69 laps to go. Nice run for Ryan Kuhn. You can see he's starting to pull away by a little bit. You can see there side by side, Jake Grout still holding on to the high side. Luke Shannon now in the 13 down on the bottom side. Going to complete the pass for second. Move that 13 back up. That 49, though, is all over the back bumper of Luke Shannon. Grout wants to make sure that he knows that he is still there. He wants that spot back. Pardon me. And eventually he wants to go for that lead. Casey Atwood, though, going to bring out the caution flag with 68 laps to go. 32 car pointed in the wrong direction. We'll see what went down here in the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. You can see a little bit of a bump there down the back side. You side by side up in front. Everything looking a-okay. There's a bit of contact down into the inside, safe for Barry. A little bit of a nudge. Nothing too crazy. 32 car able to continue. Going to continue from the back of the pack, but still able to make it on through this one. Don't think we'll see any pit stops here just yet. I've been called a liar before, but 9 laps into this one, going to cross the stripe for lap number 10. I think a lot of these drivers are going to try and stay out to at least the halfway point, try and make this a one-stop race. I think you can make it on fuel, the 75 laps. I don't know. I'm a commentary guy. I yell into the microphone. I don't know anything about racing. I tried it for 15 years, and I just wasn't quick about it. So now I yell into the microphone, and I think these guys can make it on fuel. I don't think they want to try it on tires, though. If we were going to have maybe a couple of, or a lot of those kind of cautions breeding caution scenarios, I think maybe staying out on the original tires for the whole thing might be a good call. But I feel like this setup's got a long green flag run in it, especially once these drivers start to get on into the momentum, into the swing of things. as it were. So I think we'll see maybe a couple of quick cautions here, but I feel like we're in for a long green flag run here. So I don't know if these drivers are going to try and chance it by coming down and taking tires this early. And it doesn't look like they are going to. So every once in a while, it looks like I know what I'm talking about. Lights off, coming to green here in the Richmond, or at the virtual Richmond. Jake Grout going to take the top side, or check that. Ryan Kuhn going to take the bottom side. Jake Grout going to be up on the outside, restarting. Couple of quick cars there. Going to get that restart with 67 laps to go. Setup swap. Holy cow, that's sending it back just a little bit. RKM setup shop there on the hood of the 72 car. It was the original setup website by Steve Lavender back in the day. I think he even started that with NASCAR Racing 2003 season. But I digress. Green flag once again. Great start there for Kuhn in the 72. He's able to clear the 49 of Grout, but Grout is right there on his back bumper. They are still duking it out. Oh, trouble with the 17 and the 3 car. Back in the middle of the pack. They're 3 wide. They get it yellowed back up, but that's going to give us another caution flag here. We did make mention. We said the words, cautions breed cautions, and unfortunately, here we are. Focus in on the 3, focus in on the 17. 17 up to the outside wall. Unfortunately, nowhere for that 3 car to go. Gets it woed down, though, before making any kind of major contact with that inside wall. So a little bit of damage. Nothing too crazy. You can see the 17 car absolutely going to come down and get some damage repaired on that. There's the 21, some damage on the right front of that car. Pardon me, that car as well. There's that 92 car coming on by. That's Kyle Goodbout in the Christmas-colored 92 car. So, made mention, couple of... pit road is still closed. The 17 going to get a penalty for that one. Coming down a closed pit road, it looks like. And we can confirm the 25 of Riley McVetti after racing his way into this one. Unfortunately, connection issues getting the better of the 25 car. Has retired for the evening. It's like a quick repair for the 17. Going to get back out on track. Still on the lead lap. So good news there. As we rejoin the front, you can see Ryan Kuhn going to take that bottom side once again. Haven't quite gotten the one to go, but these drivers know that they're going to have to line up 2 by 2 here eventually. So a couple of them up front getting their spot, getting a good seat picked out for the restart. 72 down on the bottom side, 49 a Grout on the high side. Timing and scoring is just kind of doing its own thing here. We do apologize for the ticker. It's lot of moving parts with the streaming and the iRacing world, and when all those moving parts come out with updates and they don't quite gel with each other, sometimes those programs, well, they struggle a little bit. And unfortunately, we're the ones that have to pay for it here at VidaneTV. But I digress. Not the end of the world. Still putting on a heck of a show here, heck of a race here at Richmond Raceway. The Old Boys iLate Model National Series here all winter long with us on VidaneTV. The NAP Super Truck Series is back with us this season as well. If you're looking for some more action, Thursday night is where you can find it, or when you can find it, where you can find it, right back here on VidaneTV. Tim's Corner Motorsports is having their yearly holiday party coming up. We're going to try and check that out coming up here as well. A couple of smashed potatoes races with TCMs and some CCM select races kind of sprinkled on, and a lot of short track racing throughout the winter months, trying to keep everybody frosty, trying to keep everybody ready to rock and roll for when it warms up once again here on the in the racing community. A lot of the racers getting ready to take that green flag once again. Barney in the flag stand saying it is time to go. There's that sun back in turns 3 and 4. Doesn't really affect what the drivers are seeing, but it affects the cameras just a little bit. Going to affect the fans, it looks like, down there too, with the virtual flashbangs as it were. But great start once again for the 72. Not quite able to shake the 49 just yet. Grout holding on. You can see he's trying a couple of different lines now as well as the yellow flag flies once again here at Richmond. We'll back that up on the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Looked like the 77 spun around, pointed himself in the wrong direction. We'll take a look here on the OIRD instant replay. You can see these drivers utilize every piece of the track. That started up front. Kenny Thompson getting into the, looked like the 92 just a little bit, and it was kind of a chain reaction deal at that point. There you can see the initial contact. 92 getting into, in a 3-wide situation. That's 26, I believe. Just a 3 or 4 cars going for the same piece of real estate there at that one. There you can see the 32 up top getting a little piece of the action, but able to grab a gear and get rolling once again. So there you see the 77 down to the attention of their pit crew. Let's see if they can get some of the virtual sheet metal beaten and banged out of this one. But everybody's still chasing the leader. Ryan Kuhn, you can see driving past the pace car just a little bit, giving a little bit of a chase for that pace car. 66 laps to go here in this one. That glare is so bad I can't actually tell. Yeah, lights are indeed off on the pace car. The reflection looks like the lights were still on, but they are in fact off. As you can see, everybody lined up 2 by 2. The pace car is going down to the safety of pit road. Going to grab something from DoorDash. VidaneTV/DoorDash. Save $8 off your first 4 meals as we come to the restart here. 65 laps to go once we hit the stripe. Another great restart for the 72 of Ryan Kuhn, able to clear Grout in the 49. He's going to bring Luke Shannon with him in that 13 car down on the bottom side and see if he can maybe make a little magic happen on the back bumper of that 72 car. Going to complete the pass. A little bit of a slide job. There wasn't quite enough room for that pass, I don't think. But he made it work. Nonetheless, Luke Shannon, new P2 driver, dropped Jake Grout back to 3rd. As you can see, Ty Delphia and Hayden Bushy holding on to the top 5. Brandon Meyer on the outside looking in there. A little side-by-side action for that 6 and 7 spot. You can see the 35 going to take it away down on the bottom side, trying to bring Tegan Atkins in the 88 down on the bottom side as well. Just looking at the telemetry here, these guys are getting to about 140 miles, 135 miles an hour down the front straightaway. So quick little 3/4 mile here at Richmond Raceway. Ryan Kuhn telling it as it is, 5:07. He's getting quicker and quicker as the laps turn on in this one. That 72 car, really a momentum driver, it seems like, on these short tracks. Once these guys get a long green flag run in, that is trouble for the rest of the field. Once that 72 gets himself hooked up, there you can see Luke Shannon able to hold off Grout for now in the 42, but the 49 rather of Grout is there. He is all over the back bumper of that 13 car. You can see he's dipping down low, trying to get a little bit of air on the nose of that thing, trying to find a little bit of grip, and you can see kind of drifts up into the outside wall. There is the machine of Jake Grout. We'll see if we can take a look at the onboard, as it were. Mounted a little bit further on back in the car. You can see he can take a peek down on the bottom side. Gets up to about the nose of the 13, and I think it's the furthest far we've seen the 49 able to get up to the 13 car, but you can see with those bright white gloves really sawing on that thing, trying to take that position away on the bottom side. All in the meantime, Ryan Kuhn's driving away. He has got himself a full second lead now. Driving off into the sunset is that 72 car. Jake Grout still battling for that second spot. 3rd getting spicy as well. The 13 up on the high side, the 15 down on the bottom side. Hayden Bushy holding on to it. Ty Delphia wants it on that high side. Man, they are door handle to door handle. If these cars had door handles, you could put a zip tie in between the two. Well, maybe not that time, but as they get it all sorted out, they are single file. The 13 car going to try and on the bottom side this time, though. 15 going to drift up the racetrack, take over that middle to high groove, and kind of change up where they were a lap or two ago. And there you can see they're still beating and banging on each other, and that's what's fun about these super late models in real life and in the iRacing and the sim racing world. These things are built like tanks. They can beat and bang and scrape the wall, scrape the drivers, flip sometimes, and still get out there and have yourself a good run with it. 15 making it work down on the bottom side, getting on down and around that other 13 car, pair of 13s up in the top 5. 13 of Luke Shannon, black and blue, holding on to third. The white and red, number 13 car of Philadelphia there on the bottom side of the 15, trying to take over that fourth position once again. You can see trying to just really use that bottom side of the racetrack, getting up there, giving him a little bit of a nudge, slides right up in front and takes that position away. Moves Philadelphia P4, the 15 of Hayden Bushy back to P5 for the time being. Oh, up to the outside wall is the 13 of Delphia. Doesn't seem like it slowed him down too much. As you can see, though, the 15 closes right into the back bumper, as does Meyer. Meyer is there as well. There you can see in that 35 car. Kyle Goodbout in the 92, making some strides as well. As Tegan Atkins going to take a peek down on the bottom side. There you can see Stephen Rochford in the 9th position. Ashton Kennison in the 10th spot, trying to hold on to that top 10 spot from Caden Fisher in the 18, giving him a little bit of a nudge there in the 18, sending him up into the middle groove. You can see some damage on that 18 Mustang, but doesn't seem like it's slowing him down too much, making a little magic happen, as it were, trying to get into the top 5. Some of these drivers back 10th on through 15th. Aiden Kennison, Brogan Roberts, Dominic LaFleur. We saw have some issues earlier on, still going tough in the 3 car back here in the madness. Kenny Thompson, saw him with a monster win in that LCQ race to win himself a spot in the feature. He's back here in 15th. Matt Huntington, solid in the 99 car. He raced his way into the heat race as well, back here in 16th. 17, we saw some issues earlier on, back in 16th and 17th. Little side-by-side action still up into the top 10, though. The 35 going to get down and around the 15 car of Bushi, as the 92 car getting on in. Tegan Atkins is there as well. So it seems like the second half of the top 10 is starting to almost pick up the pace just a little bit. You can see there's a bit of a gap from those front 5 cars on back to that second pack. There you can see a lap car, that black and orange ride we saw earlier on going down a lap. That's Gaudette Jr. in one of the 17 cars in the field here tonight. You can see Ryan Kuhn already got down and away. He's a second and a half, 1.6 seconds now is the lead of Ryan Kuhn over second place Jake Grout. Luke Shannon there you can see in third. Ty Delphia, Brandon Meyer, the top 5 as they run. There's a little side-by-side action with that 92. Check that, the 88 and the 16. Atkins up on the top side. That's going to be the 18 of Fisher is up in the mix as well. The 15 is there as well of Bushi up on the high side. Going to tuck in now onto the bottom side. A little crossover move there for the 15. As Atkins going to open up the bottom side. There goes the 15 down in. They're going to sail it on in. Doesn't quite stick to the bottom. Drifts up just a little bit. Plenty of room here, though, at Richmond Raceway. And they stay clean. They stay green. Kyle Rochford in the back trying to catch a little bit of the draft. And you see the 18 has kind of dropped back just a little bit. Little bit of wiggle room for the 18. There's Dominic LaFleur in the 05 car. We may have mentioned these are the top 15 we were talking about earlier. There's the 3 car of LaFleur. The 99's back here as well. Brandon Lambert having some issues in the 77 car, but still going strong. Carter Atwood in the 32 as well. Here's the 92 of Gary Wheeler having not having a solid run of it as he'd like. You can see there's almost about a straightaway between he and the leaders. This case in Hodgson in the 15 back in at 21st. And the last car in the lead lap going to be that 56 car of Matt Pepin. Jason Godet Jr., the first car, 1 lap down, 2 laps down. Jacob Roy, 2 laps down in the 11 car as well. Riley McVetti, the only car off the race, having some connection issues in that 25 car throughout the heats, throughout the LCQ, and throughout the feature. So I do believe Race Control may have asked that 25 car to park it in the garage. There's Ryan Kuhn. He's gone. 2.67 seconds is the lead for Ryan Kuhn on back to the leaders, or back to second. And that might be why. These guys are beating and banging side by side. You can see there's some damage on both right fronts. These guys putting on a show here for us for second place. Jake Rout in the 49 up on the high side. He's going to get the advantage for right now. You can see the 13 of Luke Shannon going to tuck into the tire tracks of the 49. A little bit loose for the 49. Going to open up the bottom side of the racetrack, but 13 going to close the gap up just a bit. And man, oh man, these guys putting on summer racing here for us. Here's another little side-by-side action. They think a little bit better of it. 35 tucking back into the 66 tire tracks and throughout the field, you can see these guys know they're definitely on 30-lap tires, 35-lap tires or so, as the lap time's starting to fall off just a little side-by-side action further on in the back. But you can see for the most part, the field is pretty much single file all the way around this racetrack, and just a massive lead there for Ryan Kuhn, picking him up, putting him down here with 42 laps to go once we hit the stripe. We talk about it all the time. We are live all over the internet trying to take over as we were. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on TikTok, all over the place. We appreciate giving us a like, a subscribe, a share, a follow, all that good stuff. Shoot on over to the YouTube page. We've got all of our races on demand that we've ever done over the past 5 or 6 years here. Got things kicked off during the pandemic in early 2020, and I believe we're up to over 675 live broadcasted races that we've done and counting. We trying to get the YouTube a little bit of love, so shoot on over there, hit a subscribe, get a share, and get rid of that Yule log. That we use the holiday time. You usually have folks over, family, friends. You've got the Yule log in the background, maybe a little Christmas music. Let's throw some VidaneTV on in the background. Let everybody know that we do this sim racing thing throughout the cold winter months, and this is how we keep the drivers and the track officials and the announcers and the camera guys frosty throughout the cold months. That's why when race time comes around, race season comes around, and the race cars get out of the garage and out to the racetrack, everybody's ready to rock and or roll. 40 laps to go here at the virtual Richmond Raceway, 39 as they cross the stripe. Ryan Kuhn, the current leader, by a lot. He's out front by almost 3 seconds now at this point, over 3 seconds, as we look at timing and scoring. 3.3 to be exact. Jake Grout has broken away from the 13 car just a little bit because he's got a new challenger as well. Kyle Goodbout in that 92 car is showing up in a hurry, breaking his way into the top 10 and into the top 5. Now into the top 3. Podium spot for the 92, going to complete the pass on Luke Shannon. You can see some damage there, we made mention, on the right front of that 13 car. Got to wonder if that's going to be affecting the aero of this car. It's not quite a big track here at Richmond Raceway, but it is pretty big. 3/4 of a mile. And there you can see some drivers that have figured out how to get around this place. Dominic Verpeer in the 05 up 9 spots. Carter Atwood up 8. Kenny Thompson up 5 spots, as is Brandon Lambert, Kason Hodgson. They're both up 8 spots as well. Gary Wheeler, Tegan Atkins, and Caden Fisher all up 3 spots. Ryan Kuhn up 2. And Dominic LaFleur up 1 spot. The top 10 biggest movers of the race. 36 laps to go. We talked about the weather earlier on. Nice day out here. 69 degrees. Track temp about 80 degrees. Cloudy. We made mention of that earlier on. And just a little bit of wind coming out of the southeast. So going to affect these super late models just a bit as they get on around this racetrack. 35 laps now to go. And these guys, if they're going to have any kind of chance at catching up with Ryan Kuhn, they're going to need a caution. Because Kuhn is gone. He's up over 4 seconds now. It's right on board with Ryan Kuhn, as it were. This is a good hood cam, but I think we can do better. Yeah, we'll take this onboard shot here because you can see the feet down there with the bright green shoes, bright green gloves as well. Just incredibly smooth on this short track. And we mention Ryan Kuhn a lot when we talk about smoothness and we talk about quick race cars because, well, he does know what he's talking about with these setups. RKM Setup Shop, a big supporter of the Oil Boys iLM Model National League. And yeah, well, this shows. The proof is in the pudding. Really, really smooth, getting all the way down to that yellow line in the 72 car. And since we've been on board, well, he's put another 0.4 of a second onto that lead. There's the gap, and there is the battle for second, as it were. The 92 wants it. He is trying to move on down around Jake Grout on the bottom side. He's going to try and bring Luke Shannon with him in that 13 car. You can see the top 5 are right up there as the other 13 car. Philadelphia there as well, the white and red machine. Tegan Atkins trying to join the party, get himself up into the mix, but these guys still duking it out for that second position as we get later and later on into this race. The cars in the back, they get a little bit lighter because we burnt off a whole bunch of fuel. It's where the fuel tanks are. They're in the trunks of these race cars. And, well, 45 laps, that's carry the one. That's a lot of fuel burn off. That's a lot of weight that's getting transferred out around in these cars, on top of wearing tires and changing track position. Oh, 92 hard into the outside wall. The 13 is there as well. That's going to bring out a caution in a big way. That was huge. Not entirely sure what happened there, but we will definitely take a look at it on the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. We know the racing was tight up in there. Focus in the 92. Just the 13 gets a little wobbly in the back. The 92 comes down, or is down on the bottom side. Everything okay? And it just looks like the 92 kind of drifts up. They touch again. Everything was good there. 49 up into the outside wall. That's what it was. Just not enough racetrack. And you can see the 13, and unfortunately, both 13s, nowhere to go after that happened. The 13 kind of followed the 49 up into the car, and at the end of it, he just gets into the other quarter panel. So that's gonna open it up for pit road, because you can see the leaders down there, as is Grout. Everybody's down on pit road. This is a really good time. We may mention this is indeed past that halfway marker. You can see 2 tires for a lot of the field, or at least one driver back there. We'll take a look and see who that was. But got to keep in mind, these late model teams, it takes a longer time to change 4 tires than it does one of the Cup cars, or Cup teams rather, or Xfinity or truck teams. So you can see 2 tires all the way through. We're going to sit right here on this camera angle, because there you see the pace car is coming down and around with the leaders. So anybody that gets stuck on pit road, they may lose a lap here. That's one of the tricks here in late model racing here in iRacing on these short tracks. A lot of times you want to change 2 tires and then come down again and change the other 2. These guys yelling and screaming. There's going to be a couple of drivers that may lose a lap, unfortunately, for being on pit road for that long. But man, oh man, let's take a look at the... Well, we're not going to take a look at anything. It's timing and scoring, still trying to figure out who is where, as it were. Because that was... there were a lot of 2-tire stops in the mix on that one. Ryan Kuhn, I do not believe, is the leader any longer. Jake Grout got out in front. We'll cross the stripe. This should update us. This should give us our lineup as they run. Maybe. A couple of cars up front potentially taken away by... Nope, just kidding. So it looks like the 92 of Kyle Goodbout going to be the first driver that came off pit road with 2 tires. Jake Grout on his outside. And then there you see Ryan Kuhn. He's going to restart P3 on the inside. Ryan Kuhn looks like 2 tires for him as well. 66-88. Kenny Thompson back there, the 6 car back there as well. Or that's 15 rather. Tile in the 17. Ashton Kennison, top 10. Jake Grout on the high side. Kyle Goodbout down on the bottom side. Green flag flies once again. 2 tires, the name of the game. It looks like for the front 5 or 6. Everybody 6th on back, it looks like, took 4 tires here on lap number 46. 30 laps to go in the feature here tonight. Goodbout holding on to the lead down on the bottom side in the 92 car. The 72 of Kuhn trying to get down and around the 49 of Grout. Does so that time. Able to slide on up and complete the pass. 13 of Luke Shannon going to go up and see what's good with that middle to high groove. He's going to try and get around the 66 the long way around. Stephen Rochford down on the bottom side. You can see Luke Shannon getting up there, kissing the wall just a little bit. Doesn't seem to slow him down. Sends it on down into the corner in that middle groove and makes it stick, trying to get that position back. Right now, Kyle Goodbout leading, winning driver there in real life and in sim racing. How about a quick time? Once again, a 5:07 for Ryan Kuhn there in second, all over the back bumper right now of Kyle Goodbout, trying to make that magic happen. Has enough time to get there. Does he have enough time to get up and around the new leader of the 92 car? And you saw that pass happen down on pit road. Seconds on pit road turn into positions, and we're talking about seconds, and Ryan Kuhn is just racking off quick time after quick time. That's the first time we've seen anybody break in to the .4 bracket here tonight at Richmond. front two drivers pulling away just a little bit, driving off into the sunset. We saw this happen with the 72 at Kuhn last run. We made mention had a long green flag run for these drivers and really able to kind of control the feel of the race car. And we made mention Ryan Kuhn does that setup shop, rkmsetupshop.com, over on social media as well, the Facebook, the Instagram, wherever sim racers like to hang out. He's got thousands upon thousands, I'd say even hundreds of thousands of laps on the simulator, because he needs to know what these setups are going to do on a long green flag run. So he'll sit there, him and his team will sit there and run lap after lap after lap and keep track of all the data and what the car's going to do on these long green flag runs and in these different weather conditions. And they offer coaching, and they offer different styles of racing as well. So if you're like me and you're slow on the iRacing service and you really need someone to kind of sit down and help you out with the setups, get in touch with these RKM guys, because they are quick. And you can see that 72 car, very quick indeed, going to make easy work of the number 92, a good bout. Is that good bout saving tires? Knowing there are 23 laps to go, 22 when we get to the stripe. Does he know that something that we don't? Sandbagging, I believe, is the term they call in the racing world. As we cross the stripe, 22 laps to go. Shout out to Gary Spinato, number 22, street stock driver at Stafford Motor Speedway. Believe he made his final start last season, but never say never. Let's see if we can get him back out on the racetrack. Battle for the lead once again. 92 down on the bottom side. Good bout not giving up entirely. And we've seen that 72 kind of drive off into the sunset before. Good bout not having anything of it in that 92 car. He's going to get down on the bottom side and see if he can do battle with that number 72. And hey, we made mention that that RKM team. Yeah, that 92, he's got RKM on that car. How about that? These guys, the class of the field here this evening, really putting in the work, putting in the laps, and trying to make some magic happen here in the Oil Boys I Late Model National Series. Kuhn still holding on to that middle groove, still holding on, trying to get around the hard side. And once these tires start to get a little bit of heat in them, little connection issue there for the 72. Going to have to monitor that as he blinks out once again. And it's tough to kind of see where that's happening. You can see everybody in behind, third on back. They're trying to catch these leaders. They're all single file here at this point. As third on back, we'll take a quick peek at them. There you see they are all lined up. Rochford Atkins, Shannon Grout-Bushy, and Thompson. There you can see. As well as the 17 of Satire LaFleur back there as well to complete the top 10. Still pretty much single file throughout the field. Everybody except for these two leaders with 18 laps to go. These guys have been side by side for 5-10 laps now. I don't think they're done. They're going to keep racing side by side, and it looks like they're even able to pull away as they've got about 3/4 of a second, 0.8 of a second or so of a lead over that third place car. You can see starting to kind of close the gap just a little bit as we cross the stripe. These guys putting on a show here for us up in the front. Kuhn up on the top, Goodbout down on the bottom side. Goodbout has the advantage this time. Is he going to have enough room to slide there? No, just more momentum for the 72 car on that high groove. As you can see, that third place gap starting to get just a little bit smaller now. Gained a 10th for the Rochford machine in the 66. He's been able to kind of focus on that battle, and he sees that these guys are running side by side, and he's starting to hear that lap counter tick down. 15 laps to go once we get to the stripe. 72 all the way up to the bumper. Gave him a little bit of a scrape on the 92. Got both cars out of shape. They gather it back up. 72 tucks back into the tire tracks. That's going to shave another 10th off of that lead over third place. These guys know it's time to go. 15 laps the distance in this one. We've got enough tires. We've got enough fuel to make it to the end. We've got enough to cover for a green-white checkered or two if we end up getting in there. 92 a good bout, holding on to the lead. 72 a Kuhn right there on his back bumper. Third place is in fact coming. Battle for third getting spicy, and they are trying to close that gap on these leaders. They realistically need a late race caution if they're going to have a shot to get around this RKM duo up front. Good bout, holding on to the lead. Ryan Kuhn there in second. There you see it, RKM Setup Shop all over those race cars and inside those cars as well. Crossing the stripe here for 13 laps to go. Caution. Late race implications indeed. This is going to throw a monkey wrench into everybody's plans as we back up the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Pardon me. Looks like the 32 of Atwood gets a little piece of the action after the fact. So we'll follow along on the chopper and see what went down with the Atwood's machine. The 35 coming into play. Or into screen, rather. There's the 05. Gets a little bump there. See if we can, what happened. It tells a little bit more of the story. This is hard racing. We saw these guys race in 4 position earlier on. The 05 drifts up the track just a little bit. The 18 nicks the apron just a bit, kind of chases that car up. And as he does that, the 05 kisses the wall. So I'm going to chalk that up to a couple of drivers going for the same piece of real estate, unfortunately. The 05 finding the short end of that stick, going to be parked down on pit road to try and get that damage repaired. There's the 26 coming off pit lane as well. A couple of other drivers getting ready to do some repairs on this machine. There's the 56 getting the free pass. Matt Pepin going to rejoin the lead lap. That car has indeed seen better days. There was damage on every 4 corners of that race car, but still on the lead lap here with 13 laps to go. That's going to tell me that anybody's got a shot to win this one. Let us know who you're rooting for, where you're watching from on all the different social media platforms. We're on Facebook, on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all that stuff. Do a quick search for VidaneTV. We pop right on up. And we would be glad to have you with us. Going to have some cool things going on in the 2026 calendar year, whether it's sim racing or real racing. We're going to be over on the website as well, getting hooked up with Dr. Race Chaser once again. Going to be great to follow Kyle's stories around the East Coast of racing. He's all over the place, as is myself. The real racing. Going to be covering a lot more of that on the Vidane socials as well. Got to talking to some folks from different racetracks and some folks in the worlds of racing and sim racing and real racing and all that good stuff. I think we're going to start putting some more real racing content here on VidaneTV. The fans have spoken, and we have listened. Lights off on the iRacing pace car. Lined up 2x2 once again. Is this the final restart? Are we going to have a 1 or 2, maybe 3 more? Who knows? A couple of drivers up to the outside wall giving a little bit of a kiss. Strong field of late models here at the virtual Richmond Raceway. There you see everybody thundering on through once again. Good bout down on the bottom side. Kuhn up top. RKM setup swap sweeping the front row. Taking that green flag with 12 laps to go. Good bout, able to pull away and complete the pass. He has about a car length over Kuhn in the 72, but he is starting to close that gap once again. And there you see it, caution flag again. Oh no. That 17 car was pointed in the absolute wrong direction and still moving. So that is an unfortunate event there for Gaudette. We'll back up the U-House Racing Designs instant replay and find out what went down. You see some damage on the 17 NH. Oh, there's the calamity in front of him, and just nowhere to go. 56 car getting a tag of the action there as well. Matt Pappen just rejoining the lead lap. See what happened to put the 56 out of shape. Getting into 1 on the restart. I think it looked okay. Nobody really in front of or behind. There's the incident there. 35 and the 26 get together. And unfortunately, it looks like something on the steering broke from the 56. Not really much he could do there, unfortunately. Let's see if we can take a peek at the 26. Well, we'll look at the 11. Boop. You can see there's just a couple of cars from different areas of the racetrack that get involved in this unfortunate event. Lots of virtual sheet metal for sale on the eBay after this one, the 77 down on pit road. And there you see everybody chasing good bout in the 92. Ryan Kuhn in second. Tegan Atkins, Stephen Rochford, Luke Shannon in the top 5 as they run. Believe the 71 car going to be the free pass. And that's going to give us 23 drivers on the lead lap. Only driver multiple laps down is the 25, Riley McVetti, parked in the garage area. Connection issues plaguing that 25 car all evening long throughout the heat races and consolation races. That being said, had ourselves a process this evening to get qualified up. Had some heat races, some qualifying, and a last chance qualifying race. 24 drivers starting the event, 23 still in and on the lead lap. Check that, 25 started the event, 24 still on the lead lap. Lights off, coming to green. Once again, Kyle Goodbout going to choose the bottom side. Ryan Kuhn up top. These drivers know they have no time to get this done. Everybody's on cooler tires. Everybody came down about 20 laps ago under that caution just past the halfway marker. Plenty of fuel. A lot of these guys up in the front, they took 2 tires. Doesn't really seem to be slowing them down any. We saw after that last pit stop, Ryan Kuhn busted out at 22.479. Quickest lap we've seen all evening long, and that's a best time for the ages. As just looking through, there's a lot of guys that are not even in the 5s. So that 72 car has this place figured out. Green flag from Barney in the flag stand. He's letting them know it's time to go. The 66 going to come on down to the bottom side and find a spot. See if he can tuck his tail, tuck into the tire tracks there. Into the tail of the 88 of Tegan Atkins. Going to try and give him a little bit of a shove around that second place car. Ryan Kuhn, not so fast. He's going to tuck into that single groove tire tracks on the bottom side and see if they can concentrate on the back bumper of the 92. Caution flag flies once again here at Richmond. And it looks like the 13 of Tydelphia might have a say in this one. Slow and off the pace is that 13 car, and might have had a little bit of help. We'll take a look at it. Coming off the restart, there you can see a little side-by-side action with the 99 car. And just a little bit of a nudge. 99 goes up on the outside. Everybody does a great job getting up and around. The 77 does a good job there avoiding the 13 VT as well. So could have been a whole lot worse for Tydelphia. Could have been a lot better. Gonna have to restart here late in the going of this one in the back of the pack. Tall order to pass 23 cars in a matter of 10 laps. Seen crazier things in the sim racing world. Seen crazier things on VidaneTV. But great to have everybody here with us tonight. Got to give a shout out to Vermont, New Hampshire Racing News over on Facebook, putting together this league as well. They've got some cool stuff going on in the real racing world as well. Announcements being advertised all over their social medias here in the next month or so. So going to be cool to see what they've got cooking up. Got to get myself up there as well. Still have to cross a lot of the Vermont and New Hampshire tracks off of my list. From Connecticut myself, so obviously been to Stafford, been to Waterford. Haven't been to Thompson yet. Been to a lot of the southeast tracks, been out west, been Midwest. Got to cross some of these northeast tracks off my list. So if anybody's looking for a content guy or a camera operator, give me a shout for sure. But lights off once again. RKM setup shop up there on that front row. Kyle Goodbout down on the bottom side. Ryan Kuhn up top. Everybody tucked in 2 by 2 by 2 all the way through. We've seen a couple of quick restarts here. We've had a long green flag run. Little bit of everything here at Richmond Raceway. 75 laps on the docket, 60 of them in the books or so. I don't know what that math is. Going to cross the stripe with 10 laps to go. Yeah, 65 down, 10 laps to go, totaling 75. Carry the 1. Green flag. Here we go. Great start for Goodbout down on the bottom. Kuhn making it happen in the middle of the groove, though. He's going to try and get down to the bottom as quickly as he can. Doesn't have quite enough room to get in front of Tegan Atkins. Atkins going to push down on the bottom side because he knows he had one shot, it looked like, at that. Didn't quite have enough to get there. He's going to tuck into the tire tracks right now for P3 as the front two look like they might be getting ready to drive away once again here in this one. Tegan Atkins in the 88 trying to hold on to the third position. Caution flag flies again late in this one with 8 laps to go. Pepin on pit road, 13 off the pace again, it looks like. Pardon me, U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Looking at the hood off of the 13 car and gets in, kind of drifts up into the 77, and unfortunate things ensue. Down cuts the grass just a little bit. Looks like the 13 car might be done for the evening. Nope, just kidding. Back out on track is the 13 car. You can see that sun starting to kind of peek out behind the trees in the horizon there, causing some visualability issues for some of the folks in the field here. But a little bit different conditions from when we practiced and when we ran the heat races early in the evening. Came out in full sunlight, a little bit warmer out. It's cooled off just a bit. Track's changed up just a bit. And we've made mention, we had that kind of that long green flag run in the middle of this one. RKM setup shop drivers sitting P1, P2 as they run. Those guys putting on a whale of a show. Side-by-side racing for 10, 15 laps here at the virtual Richmond Raceway. Crossing the stripe. That should be one to go this time by. Nope, light's going to stay on. As we'll take another lap on the hood of the Good Bout machine. You see Jake Grout on the outside in the 49 car. Lining up. Stephen Rochford there as well. Hayden Bush and Kenny Thompson. Jarvis Sata on the 17, back in the top 10. Luke Shannon, Gary Wheeler, the top 10 as they get ready to take the restart. Pace car down and away. 9 laps to go, 8 laps to go once we get to the stripe. And there you have it. Green flag once again, dead even for the restart this time. Enough time, though, for Kuhn to dip into that second spot. Caution. Here you can see the Calamity back in the back of the field there. 11 car getting a piece of the action. 35 car getting a piece of the action. 17 getting some as well. So handful of drivers getting caught up late in the going of this. A little bit of a war of attrition as we get in there. You see the 99 getting out of it. The 17s get in contact with each other. And then the 11 drives into the 30. I'm not sure what that was. That was kind of odd because there was 3 or 4 scenarios where it seemed like drivers just kind of drove through each other. It looks like it might have been a checkup because now that I look back on it at the restart, as they get into one, everybody's just kind of reacting to other things that are happening because there you see the 13 and the 99 to get together. The 17 has some issues. It gets into the other 17. And as the 35 was reacting, the 11 was there. Getting a little bit squirrely here in the late going of this one. To try and gather it back up and get to the regularly scheduled distance here. 8 laps to go here at Richmond Raceway. Again, thanks so much for having us here. Live all over the internet. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Give us the like, the subscribe, the share. Let your friends and family know you're watching a little bit of racing action here on a Tuesday night. We're going to be back at it this Thursday night with the NP Super Truck Series. And remember last week's Oil Boys Late Model National Series race for Lanier, or at Lanier, got rescheduled to December 23rd. It's going to be a Tuesday night here live on VidaneTV. So we look forward to joining us on Christmas Eve. have us on in the background, have us on the big screen. And that's one of the beautiful things that we have with the hookup on the YouTube. You can shoot on over to YouTube and do a quick search for VidaneTV, and it'll pop us up on any kind of big screen or smart device that you've got. And it's something to behold. It looks crystal clear up on the big 55 here in the shop, and it's great to have everybody on board here with us. Lots of stuff going on here in the winter months. A good way to kind of bridge the gap between real racing and sim racing. And it's a great way for these drivers in the field to stay frosty, keep themselves on their toes, as it were, because this league, the Oil Boys I Late Model Nationals, as well as our Thursday night leagues, NEP Super Trucks, mostly made up of drivers from the Northeast, and that's real-life race car drivers in the Northeast, which is pretty cool. So you might recognize a lot of these paint schemes, as they may be the drivers from this area. Could be pit crew workers. We've seen camera operators. We've seen crew chiefs. We've seen spotters, track owners. Lots of different folks here in the iRacing world. Heck, we even had Randy the Plumber show up in the booth a couple of years back on the VidaneTV back in the day. That's one of the shows over on YouTube you can do a quick search for. But 8 laps to go on the docket. Pace cars down safety, a pit road once again. RKM setup shops on the front row. And there you see it, a restart once again. Good, clean restart. Following the rules is the restarts. That's how we do it here in racing. Kyle Goodbout gets the jump that he needs. Kuhn doesn't have enough to get down into the bottom side. Tegan Atkins going to slide his way into second, or is he? He's going to try it this time by going to try and power on through into the corners. He knows he's got to get there quick, because once those RKM cars get hooked up and they get that momentum, it's going to be hard-pressed to try and catch him. 7 laps to go. Luke Shannon around in the 13 car. Lots of drivers collected up in the top 10 in this one. Caution once again with 6 laps to go. That 13 car of Shannon is smoked. Oh, man. Smoke pouring out of the back of that thing from underneath the hood as well. You can see he backs in to the outside wall. Luke Shannon not happy with how that 13 car ended up from the top 10. We'll take a look at the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. We'll slow it down here as well. They're almost 3 wide, but they get it sorted out. And there's the contact. Kenny Thompson down on the bottom side. Gets a little bit squirrely, tries to correct it. Unfortunately, corrects it just a little bit too much. Gets into the 13 and sends him on up and around, hard into the outside wall. And everyone trying to avoid the track was blocked up top, so they're trying to get around on the bottom side, and unfortunately, nothing there. 6 laps to go. There you see the smoke still pouring out of the back of Luke Shannon. Currently, the last car on the lead lap. I do believe he's going to have to come down pit road and see if he can get that thing fixed, if he doesn't have too many repairs to have to make on that thing. We'll see what he does as he drives by the entrance of pit road. Not sure what the official word is on that 13 car. We'll see if we can figure it out, but everybody else still staying out on track. Getting late into the going of this one. Tegan Atkins now going to restart on the outside of row number 1. We've seen a lot of restarts here with that 72 car up in the high side. Didn't quite have enough to get back around Goodbout in that 92 since he's been up there. We'll see if Tegan Atkins can have a restart in that 88 up on the high side. As you can see, still chasing the pace car. Lights are on the roof of that pace car. Do we get the one to go this time? We do not. One more parade lap around Richmond Raceway. Handful of quick cautions here in the final 10, 15 laps or so. Had ourselves about a 40-lap green flag run and really showed that the 72 was strong on those long green flag runs, but we don't have a long green flag run anymore. Everybody up front in the top 10, they all came down for tires 25 laps ago. Now here's a fun game. 2 tire stops. Look to be Goodbout, Atkins, And as I say that, my screen changes. It's about 50-50. And they're mixed throughout the top 10. Some drivers took the 2 tires. Some drivers took 4 tires all the way around, but they took fuel only. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on here as we are in the twilights of this race. Going to come down to 5 laps to go. A high five from Barney in the flag stand when we get this green flag lap. Are we going to take it to the checkered? Do we have any more cars to wreck? Man, oh man, it's going to be crazy here with 5 laps to go. Pace car is down to the safety of pit road. And there you see a monster start from the 92. He jammed that gas pedal so hard that it broke the car loose. He's going to go up to the high side, it looks like. Open the door up for Ryan Kuhn. Textbook teammate move there. Tegan Atkins gets hung up on the outside. 3 wide there for third. He goes up and kisses the outside wall. That's how you know those drivers have been racing with each other and working with each other for a long time. That was textbook to get the teammate there in second. But there you see it, 4 laps to go. The 66 moves in to the 3rd position right now. Jake Grout trying to make the magic happen up on the top side. They touch. They touch again on the height side. Tegan Atkins still in the 88 car in that middle to high groove, trying to hold on to it up into the outside wall. Once again, though, front 2 pulling away single file. They're starting to get single file from 3rd on back. Kenny Thompson trying to take that position away from the 88 of Kenny Thompson there in the top 5 as they get squirrely all the way around the racetrack. 3 laps to go. Quick time. Who is it? Ryan Kuhn with a 3. That's 0.2 of a second faster than anybody else with those RKM setup shop cars. 22.335 for Goodbout. 3:15 for Ryan Kuhn. 2 popsicle sticks. Laps to go here at Richmond Raceway. Completely pulling away are those front 2 cars. Jake Grout still side by side for the 3rd position. You can see he's down on the bottom side. Rochford trying to make it happen in the 66 up top. Kenny Thompson is there. The 88 Atkins is there. The 15 is there as well of Hayden Bushi. White flag, though, white rag for these leaders side by side as they head on down into turn number 1. Ryan Kuhn in the bottom side. Goodbout on the high side. These guys have been side by side for most of this race. Ryan Kuhn going to try and take the position. He's going to go high. Will we get a crossover? No. Ryan Kuhn down onto the apron. The 92 a Goodbout. Going to try and make a run from the middle to the groove. Not quite enough there. Ryan Kuhn going to come home with the victory. They're wrecking over the start-finish line. Great race here at the virtual Richmond Speedway. Ryan Kuhn in the 72 car going to come home with the victory. Kyle Goodbout, Jake Grout going to be the top 3, and we will take a look at our starting lineup or take a look at our finishing order momentarily, but we're going to try and get hooked up with our leader as he burns those tires down. That 72 car, quick all night long. Ryan Kuhns, what'd you see through your windshield here tonight?
Yeah, just it was fun. Me and Goodbout had a great race there at the end. I was able to shortcut the front stretch a little bit and build a run. I was trying to play with that a little earlier in the race, just experimenting to see where I could make time. But there's definitely some time to be made, just kind of running a half a groove to a groove down on the front stretch, a good 1/4 of a tenth. So it's kind of what I did there at the end to really get under him. And I really wanted to save the real shortcut till later so he didn't catch on. So overall, it was a great race, and we'll go on to next week.
Yeah, those RKM setup shop cars pretty quick here this evening, and quick in the long run as well. Saw you and Goodbout both run a 3 coming to within 5 laps to go. So showing why the setup's really good here on the 72 and the 92 car. Who else is on that car? Who gets you to and from the virtual racetrack?
Yeah, my real sponsors, Everett's Auto Parts, Modern Auto Body, Coastal Heritage Bank, 01 Designs, my real life crew for all the opportunities for the real world kind of side of things, and I'm looking forward to 2026.
As we all are, Ryan Kuhn making it look easy here at Richmond Raceway, coming home with another late model win, and not making it too easy for him was his teammate in the 92 of Goodbout, winning driver here as well, going to come home in second. What else did you need to get around the 72 car?
I don't know. I felt like we were pretty good the whole race, and he just made a good move down the front stretch, and I went off into turn 1 hoping to get a good drive in and drive off, and I just got wicked tight. So I can't really complain. I don't have to start last next week, which is nice. So yeah, not a bad race.
Absolutely. Put on a heck of a show here for us up on the podium. Who's out there watching? Who gets you to and from the virtual racetrack?
Just all my family for their support. I really couldn't do any of it but without them.
Absolutely. All about the friends and the family here. And going to slide a little bit further on down a pit road. It was a gaggle for that third place, but Jake Grout going to come home with the podium finish. What did you see through your windshield coming to the rear view mirror? Easy enough for me to say. Coming to the checkered flag. That was a lot.
Yeah, I was just trying to block the cross really from Steven. I knew he was going to try it. I was able to make it work on him, and he tried to block it down the front stretch, but I didn't back out because it was 2 to go. So, yeah, it was definitely a battle. I know Tegan's not happy, but he gave the lane and I took it. So, can't thank Ryan enough though. He built another killer setup and brought us another top 3 and finished out a really good week that we had today with our cam. So, we've been on a tear this year. I've sucked over here, but those two are doing good, and I gotta thank JNS Sales and Service, AW Clark Builders, White Heating, Curly Transport, RKM Setup Shop, KCB Addy Racing, Cal Goodbout, Ryan, Casey, you guys for broadcasting, the Oil Boys, everybody, VTNH.
RKM Setup Shop. 1, 2, 3. If that doesn't tell you that you need to check these guys' setups over on the website and over on Facebook, I don't know what does. Taking a quick look at the finishing order, Ryan Kuhn, Gary Wheeler did not finish in second. Not sure what that is. Kyle Goodbout finishes in second. Jake Grout finishes in third. Steve Rochford going to finish in fourth. Kenny Thompson rounding out the top 5. Tegan Atkins, late race bumble. He's going to finish in sixth. Hayden Bushy finishing in seventh. Dominic LaFleur, Ashton Kennison, and Jarvis Satow going to round out the top 10. Hell of a run here at the virtual Richmond Raceway. We're back at it this Thursday night with the NEP Super Truck Series. That's going to be a whole lot of fun as they are going to be racing, I believe, at Las Vegas. No, we were at Vegas last week. We'll have to double check on the schedule. But that's going to do it here for us tonight. Thank you so much for VidaneTV, everybody watching here, and everybody racing in this series and all of our series here on VidaneTV. We will catch you on the flip side, and when we do, we are going to be doing it live.